going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to another IRL episode of the Fair Shake Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Fats, aka The Beast. Let's introduce the rest of the cast, starting with the captain.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Killer Ghost, aka Chris. Hope you guys enjoy this second IRL episode, and on to the next host.
Good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Whatever time you guys listening to this today. This is our second IRL episode. We have questions in the comment section. Some were DM'd to us. Some were sent to us on all our platforms. And now on to the show.
Alright, so I got some questions from the DMs and comment section. The first one I'm going to bring up is... So GameStop, I don't know if you guys saw, they closed in 100 stores this week. But for the year, they might close another 400 to 500. How do you guys feel about that?
Honestly, fuck GameStop. Truth be told. It is a convenient way to get games. Because there's a GameStop in every corner, right? But the shit that gets me is that when you're done with a when you're done with a physical game, you don't want it no more. You just want to sell it back to GameStop. They rip you off. Even if it's a brand new game, you get a game today, open it, put it into the PlayStation, beat it today. You didn't like it, you don't feel like you're gonna play the game again, and you're gonna go sell it back to GameStop. They give you less than half of the value of the game to resell it. $5 less than the original price.
That's true.
I get it. You gotta make your money one way or another, but you're cheating the community. So, my perspective, fuck GameStop.
So for me, it's one of those things obviously, before we had the opportunity to get our games digitally, you understand, where we became more accessible, because it was out there. It wasn't just as it is now. GameStop was my go-to place. I wasn't going to Best Buy. I wasn't going to all those other Target and shit. Especially that I live in the Fordham area. It was just easy for me to get there. Now, it's true. It's fucking highway robbery, because they'll give you 20% of the game's worth, and then from there they rocket that shit up to $5 less of the original asking price. Yeah, they don't take the tax if you trade it in, blah blah blah. But for me, it doesn't affect me anymore. You understand? Now we could just get games digitally. I've been actually getting my games off of fucking Amazon. The game, the Star Wars game that you put me on, I actually got that off of eBay through you, because you told me they sell it for dirt cheap, and it was literally brand new, and then I have to fucking go to a GameStop. Now, I do feel bad for the teenagers. That's a teenager job. You understand? Yeah. All those fucking creepos that stayed in to fucking 30, 45 years old. You understand?
Just playing the games that's just there.
That too, but I'm talking about the managers that swear they have mad fucking pool. That shit irks the shit out of me. And then you go in and they know your name, but only through the fucking the fact that you go there a lot.
Yeah.
You understand? I feel bad for the kids that are losing their jobs, you understand? But you gotta learn some way that America likes to fucking the ass.
Yeah. There's a lot of YouTubers too, I used to work at GameStop, and this is what really happens and all that bullshit. I don't know if you've seen there's a lot of YouTubers, and they'll be like, oh yeah,
the guy that goes like, yeah, the country boy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, and it's GameStop, I don't know. It should have just been snapped with Thanos' snap. It's it was cool when we would leave high school. Oh, let's go to GameStop. We got time to kill. Let's look at some games, and maybe here or there you'll find a steal. Shit, I didn't know fucking Final Fantasy blah 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 was $10. I mean, let me get it. But for trading in, sucks. You might as well sell it second hand or whatever. And
There's one thing that I was thinking about this when I was cycling through the comments and they spoke about that, is that I mentioned earlier how people are going to lose their jobs and blah blah blah. Now, with GameStop closing, right? I don't give a fuck what they put in the location that's there. But what would be your next go-to place to get games physically? You understand? What would be, in your case, what would y'all do?
I don't think I would be getting any game physically, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason, like, I would have to, like, want to get a game physically is if they were giving, like, if you pre-ordered a deluxe edition and it was coming with, like, something valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the last physical game I bought was Dragon Ball Fighters, right?
Mm-hmm.
It came with the steel bookcase. It came with, like, mad stickers and 3D holographic cards. And it came with the statue of Goku. That shit about this high.
Mm-hmm.
That was value to me. Like, I love that shit. Like, I could hang up the statue on my dresser and everything. And then the cards, I could put them in frames and shit like that. And the steel book, I don't even need the regular case for the game. That was value to me. So
That's true.
that would be the only reason I would get a digital game. But, you know, even
Physical
now,
game, too.
physical, my phone, yes, physical game. Even now, like, if you pre-order a game digitally, they do send you stuff. When I pre-ordered Spider-Man, they sent me a Spider-Man pin for it.
Jesus, a bit.
I mean, it's only a pin, but I'm saying that could
I get
expand.
what you're getting at, because I know there was a game that was supposed to drop during COVID or whatever, and when they had closed, I can't remember what fucking game, but it came with something, some form of like figure or whatever, and they were saying, you know, GameStop is gonna have to ship it out to you, and on their end they're losing more money and blah blah blah, and then they ended up literally like circumventing that laws because they were only allowing essential shit to be delivered, right? So fine, GameStop, you know, skips out on that out. But if that were to continue, right, I would hope, like you said, that I pre-order the whatever it is and I get the physical thing in the mail, but it has to be worth it.
Yeah.
That 100-something has to be worth it. Now,
Absolutely.
in this case, I'm not gonna hold you guys. I'm actually paying for the. I know you already paid for the Cold War edition of the Max or whatever. There was rumors how Modern Warfare had goggles or whatever. There was something special with this one. I think it's a RC. I'm not sure what it is. I would assume that it's a RC because they've done that before, you know. And I haven't paid for this one yet because I'm actually waiting to see what that extra one entails. So if they do that, great. Give me my digital copy. I get that day one. The fucking RC, I'm not probably not even gonna pay with that shit. I'm just gonna look at it for like 2 minutes. You know, and that's it. But overall, for me, I remember one thing I am gonna miss about GameStop. I remember staying there, getting ready for midnight launch, getting there like at 9, 10 p.m. or whatever it is, and just fucking around with your friends.
Yeah, that's
You understand? And I think that's one thing I'm gonna miss. I'm pretty sure you guys out there gonna miss that too.
Yeah.
But I'm pre-ordering as soon as Amazon says, hey, we got the pre-order for you. I'm pre-ordering.
It's just with physical, like you said, if GameStop closes, what would you put instead? Even with physical, you could get, like you said, off Amazon. You don't gotta move an inch, it comes to your house. Even though sometimes it don't come the same day, sometimes it does come early. Like, it's hit or miss with Amazon. eBay, you could negotiate prices and stuff. So, like, once GameStop leaves, it's gonna be another, maybe a fucking bank or something. It's not gonna be another game store. It's but the ones I like for physical. If it's a game I want like early, like you know downtown there's some spots.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll have the game 2-3 days early.
Absolutely.
Those are probably the only spots I'll go if it's physical and I know.
But the game has to be worth it.
Yeah, if I know the person I'm game sharing with is not interested, I'll just get it physical a couple of days early or whatever. And it wouldn't be an online game most likely because the servers probably wouldn't even be up. Like Call of Duty, it wouldn't even be up. But something like Star Wars, if I could have got that 3 days earlier, and I was really bored, I would have did that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I had mentioned earlier we're missing out well, I'm not missing out. Whoever out there is missing out on those. If they didn't do it, the midnight launch, get-togethers, the shit talking, this and that. It's to our knowledge that recently we had the price reviews for the Xboxes, the S version and the X version. Does that change? The fact that you can't, if our store, for example, because there's only 400 or 500 stores, it's not like GameStop is going to disappear.
Yeah.
It just so happens that, there's 400 or 500, we don't know if it's going to be one of ours. Not that we work there, but what I'm saying is, like, just in general. Now, you don't have a GameStop, and we know the prices to the Xbox, and soon we're going to find out, well, whenever you guys listen to this, we probably found out the prices to the PlayStation. Where are you going to go now? Are you going to do like me, Amazon, pre-order it off of Amazon?
I always, last year I did, well not last year, I wish. Whenever the Xbox came out, the fucking big VCR, Xbox One original, I went to Best Buy, the one right there in by Yankee Stadium.
Oh, the terminal.
Yeah, it was all the way in the top. I went with some friends. We stood in line. Maybe like, had to be a little less than 100 of us in line. I got there like 8 o'clock to 12, and it was all just chilling. That's what I want to do for the PlayStation, because I don't think I'm going to get the Xbox, but that's another story. But I wouldn't have gone to GameStop anyway, because I'm pretty sure they super limited on quantity. Like, other than, Best Buy's a bigger store, so I'm guessing they're going to have way more. And I don't know. After all these years, I feel like GameStop they don't deserve my money. I'd rather go somewhere else.
With that demise, unless you guys have any extra things to say about GameStop, I'm gonna just say RIP.
I just miss. Like you said, I'm gonna miss the midnight launches. I remember going for Halo, Black Ops with him. A couple Call of Duties I wanted to get.
Actually, most of my COD games, I didn't even pick up from GameStop. I actually picked them up from mom and pop shops.
Oh yeah?
That had them shits already out beforehand.
Oh.
And Black Ops 1 was my best friend. He actually got that game for me, no exaggeration, a week before release date. And I was just fiending.
But do you remember if you only could have played story, right? Or
no, you could. I was playing online. That was back then. 360 ain't give a fuck. The online service was already on.
Some people were getting banned for
early. I mean, it wasn't like I was sitting there fucking making YouTube videos of leaked footage. I didn't have the time for that.
And another funny story about GameStop. You know the one in 3rd Ave? That's the closest one to me.
Yeah.
So you know that across the street is that what's the name of that game store? Fuck. Game Express.
Oh yeah.
So they would they're assholes. I remember I think it was for Call of Duty. They were like, if you come over here, you don't gotta wait till 12. Just come at 9 o'clock.
I remember that.
Bro, like half the line was like, yo, I'm canceling my Call of Duty, give my money back, and they would go right across the street.
That was Black Ops 2.
Yeah, right.
But that's the thing, though. You understand? It's obvious when it comes to pre-orders, and it's obvious that they have incentives. GameStop had incentives. Pre-order with us, you get the game early. I mean, beta or whatever early. Or you get a fucking GameStop skin or whatever the fuck you want. Now it's different. Now you actually getting the beta services and all that things through the company. You understand? So you could legit just get your fucking beta key and fuck it, whatever. What I used to do, I'm not even gonna hold you. I used to get data keys in GameStop and then literally get my refund up to $5 and put it to something else, get another beta key, and I would literally horror out those $5. You understand? Until they sat there and they're like, yo, we noticed you got mad pre-orders and then you have mad cancels. What's up? I'm like, it's my money. Just do what I say. That's it.
Yeah, like,
you know, like you don't have to ask me what I'm doing with my fucking money.
Yeah.
If I want it, I want it. If I don't, I don't.
It's still going into your register.
All you need to know is that I'm indecisive. That's it.
It's not here, but
I change my mind every day.
It's not here, but it's a question I just thought of. Like, so, do you think the companies themselves rather not even do physical? Because you know, them producing the disc and stuff probably cost them money.
No, of course.
So you think it'll be, you know, it'll be more cost effective for them just to do digital, right? Because they just gotta fucking.
It wouldn't be the same, like, like if they do it digital, of course, if you're buying from PlayStation or Xbox, PlayStation and Xbox get a portion of the money you spend for the
I'm
game.
saying, but what if they do
and
digital?
if they do like physical, they do have to spend money on the like making the actual disc, and then have to pay wherever you get the game from, and having to pay the company you're playing for the system. And then so I think honestly from that point of view I would think the company would rather you buy digital
from them, directly, yeah. Like Nintendo, that's the reason their fucking games are always expensive, because those little cartridges cost them mad money.
One, that. Two, you can only get Nintendo games on Nintendo. You can't get that shit anywhere else. You understand? To your point earlier about getting the game physical or digital, whatever, from the company, there is a con behind that. For the people whose internet is literally ass, sorry, Bob, you're gonna be forever in a day trying to download shit.
Yeah, that is true.
You understand? As opposed to going to get the physical copy, in a sense, and then taking that copy, putting it in, and just waiting for the update feature, whatever that they do. But there's some states that they have literal caps on the speed. You understand? Mm-hmm. So there's people that are trying to download shit. You understand? That same night, because they probably got the money that day or whatever, and it's taking forever in the day. Now, what I like about the digital stuff through PlayStation is now you could pre-download it. In some cases, weeks in advance.
Yep.
You understand? And then when the game drops, boom, 12 o'clock. And I've been hearing that the game doesn't even unlock at 12, it unlocks at 10 your time.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know that. You understand? Had I known that, some of the games I would not have fucking waited. The last physical copy of a game that I bought prior to Star Wars was, and I mean for myself, was Call of Duty. And I remember all you guys were shitting on me. Hey yo, you gotta wait for it to download, we already got ours, we got the update. Mind you, all you guys was playing, right? I waited for the fucking the update. You remember? I waited for the update. I had to wait for the fucking map packet, like.
And then it didn't even work, right? You were saying?
Yeah, I was stressed, and I didn't get to play till the day after, past 3 o'clock. You understand? So
you would think the disc you just pop in and when we were little, you just pop in and that shit.
Yeah, but now you're gonna have to install it and shit like that, and then download the updates or whatever DLCs you have.
And that's another thing. When we were younger, maybe I don't remember. Were there that many updates in those old days?
There was no
bro. It's every week there's a fucking update.
There was no updates at all.
Hell no.
You play the game as you bought it.
And that's it. And it was fine the way it is. It's not like fucking. I don't know.
One thing for multiplayer games, I could see why they do that. Listen, I could see why they have to update constantly, like COD. And I hate to keep referring back to COD, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that we've been playing it here and there. Now, because it's multiplayer, they have to constantly fix it. And if they're offering a service now, because most games are becoming games as a service, you understand? And I'm investing this amount of money, you as a developer, as a whatever, should be able to fix the game as much as possible without hindering some stuff. You understand? One of my friends, he doesn't play Overwatch anymore because he hates the fact that when a hero drops, they have to try to update and fix the game, not only for one hero, but for every other fucking heroes. Mm-hmm. You understand? So you constantly mess that up. As opposed to a game like COD, you understand? Well, all you gotta do is nerf a gun because everyone has a gun. You understand? So, I mean.
But like what I'm saying is, you remember Halo? You played a lot of Halo 3?
I played 3. I played the shit out of 3.
Do you remember any of that?
Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. I think the one thing that they nerfed and they had to was a fucking needler because that shit was beast.
I don't remember that. Yeah, maybe it was small ass
like a
patch.
shadow patch or
Yeah.
something, but I definitely remember the Needler being beast.
I honestly don't. I don't remember any game updates for the 360.
No.
It was only the system updates.
Unless it was like you said, like shadow, like you don't even see it doing it. Yeah. I don't know.
Alright,
So
so
another topic for you guys, unless you got something else to say.
ladies and gentlemen, again, thanks for stopping by on our second episode of the Fair Shake Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the first one. Yeah, we just siphoned through these topics.
This one's a personal one because me personally, since I'm not working often, I'm on Call of Duty or whatever game, so I want to be comfy playing that shit.
Yeah.
So, I always was like, you see all the streamers on gaming chair, buy this gaming chair, I'm sponsored by this gaming chair. So, I got a gaming chair. At first it was fine, but then it's like after 2 hours or whatever, I even have a pillow, like a butt pillow on the fucking gaming chair that I bought, and my ass still be hurting after a couple, and I'm like, why is it, this is specifically meant for people like,
That play games for fucking 8 hours.
So I'm like looking up, and you notice like a lot of like YouTube, Reddit, gaming chairs are overrated. Like you might as well get an office chair. And I'm watching this in my job, sitting on the office chair. I'm like, this chair is actually way more comfortable than the fucking chair I play on. Why didn't I just get this shit? And then you look up the prices, and they have the prices of gaming chair. Gaming chairs $300 and up. I don't know about you guys,
So, for me, I think the best gaming chair, hands down, is the fucking toilet. Okay? It's the fucking toilet. Because I sit there, do everything I get. I probably got my most W's there, on fucking, like, I don't know. What's that shit called? With the gem jewel? I fucking know. I'm bullshitting, but still.
The phone game.
Yeah,
Bejeweled.
Yeah. So, even though it's thing, I get where you're coming from, because that chair you're sitting on is an actual game chair, right? But that was gifted to me about like 3 Father Days ago, if that's a fucking saying. And recently, about 3 months ago, I fucking had a terrible fall on skating, and I'm pretty sure, it's like, it was bruised, but I think it's like, it has to be like a hairline fracture or something, because if I sit more than like fucking 45 to 50 minutes, my ass bone is literally just boom, 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 boom. And surprisingly enough, that chair is somehow like, pulling through. But if you look at it, it has all the fucking leather on it. It's basically gone and shit. And I don't know how much my wife paid for it. A gift is a gift. I'm not like, whatever. But when I was looking into getting chairs to sit on, because, I want to play, it's fucking wild expensive. $220, $240. The cheapest you can find that's decent is like $160. You understand? And then they give you all these fucking promises. You get lumbar support. You get fucking vibrating asshole. That's the thing that you want. You understand?
And the lumbar support is not built in. It's a fucking pillow you could take off. Like.
And in some cases, that fucking shit that you put in the neck, I don't know a person who uses that. You understand?
The head one?
Yeah, like I don't
use
know.
it.
But literally, like, how often are you sitting there using it?
Oh, not leaning back? I'm dead. I'm like, fuck.
But not because you play.
Not because I play like that.
If you see somebody playing like this,
oh nah,
that motherfucker's a psycho.
Yeah, you don't want him on your team.
He's a fucking psycho. You understand? He's a psycho. You understand? But back to the chair point. They're fucking wild expensive for no reason, and it's true. My mom has a fucking office chair that when I go sit to her office and I sit on it, bro, I'm like,
you can fall asleep, man.
It's like you die in the fucking chair. You come back fucking, oh shit, I'm Jesus. Because that's how good it is. But gaming chairs, like you said, are fucking overrated.
Have you seen that Herman Miller Logitech chair?
No.
That's actually.
Oh wait, I know some of the. Oh no, I definitely didn't see that. I wouldn't,
Okay.
1,500, bro. Wow.
But you know what it is too? I think another issue with what you're saying about that pricing, right?
That's way too much.
Is this, right? They sell you pipe dreams. Sit on this chair, you could fucking kill 15 people. Sit on this chair, the boss is dead. Sit on this chair, that shit is fucking wild. You know, and for the people that could sit there and be like, oh my god, this is like the best thing. This is the best thing for like the first 2 weeks. But if you get a fucking bad turn, that chair is,
Yeah,
you understand? Or somehow, so on that chair, I was, you know, I don't know if you ever noticed this. After a while, when you sit on the chair, they like sink by themselves.
That's what I hate, yeah.
I ended up finding out through YouTube that you go get PCP pipes. PCP, is that like a drug? You know the fucking,
I know
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Those pipes, and you put it in the rod or whatever.
Like hard plastic.
Yeah. And you put it over the, like you slide it through the rod before you put the chair on, and you never have the sinking problem. You understand?
But they don't tell you that.
They don't tell you that. They get chairs that are meant for people that weigh 5, like literally elephant weights. You understand? And the shit still sinks. Unless I'm morbidly obese, which I don't think I am, something's wrong, Pop.
No, yeah, it's true.
You don't have a gaming chair, right?
No, I've never had one. I'm one of those gamers that mad uncomfortable. Like I'll sit on the chair, and then I'll go do this, and then I'll do this, and then I get off the chair, go to the sofa, I sit on the sofa, and then I'll lay down on the sofa, and then I have to move it to the room, and I lay down on my bed. I'm never comfortable when it comes to when I clean. Never comfortable at all.
I think if it's not, I joked earlier, if it's not the toilet, I think the best semi-gaming chair would be like the end of your bed. You understand? Like when you hang out with your friends when you was younger,
Oh, yeah.
and you sit down on like the corner of the bed, on the side of the bed, and it's like you find a comfortable like ass cheek to ratio, and you're just perfectly fine. I think worked wonders for
You
me.
know what else is not a bad one? But this is like, I don't know. It might be weird, but traveling, the train, taking your switch, the whole empty train, just sitting in the the little 2-seat one.
That's the best fucking chair. If from you guys
You
are
just
in
chilling
New
there. I'll be
York,
there
right?
from the last stop to the first stop, just playing.
For me, it's the D train, right? So I know what chairs you're talking about. It's the ones that is by yourself, but you kind of have the people right in front of you, right?
No, I'm talking about the ones that
The new train by the exit doors where you get your.
there's literally 2.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other side is like 4.
Mm-hmm.
But you take the 2, and then you put your bag there, because you know you don't want nobody sitting next to
Of
you.
course.
Especially that little ass shit we big
Yeah.
dudes. Like,
And that's one thing I don't like.
Wait,
Yeah, you go first.
because you sit on that fucking shit and it be the biggest motherfucker that want to
Right,
squeeze
bro.
it right next to you.
Bro, and you're looking at them like, you looking at them like,
Hey, yo, we
hey,
don't fit.
look at me, look at you, look at the fucking chair. You understand? Ain't gonna happen.
Well, it be the beer house too. They got
That's
some
another
too
story.
much perfume and they cost 3 times their size.
Bro, I had a guy that I was me and my brother knew he was coming home from work, and this guy kept laying down on me, and I kept telling him, yo, get the fuck off me, get the fuck off me. To the point where everybody on the train like stopped what they were doing and looked at me, because I was like, motherfucker, you keep fucking laying on me, I'm gonna crack you across the head. And he's like, I ain't falling asleep on you, eh? I'm like, bro, you got fucking drool coming out of your mouth.
Oh, nah.
This is pre-COVID, by the way. Imagine COVID. He would have got the fucking chin check of death.
Nah.
I remember one talking about buses and train rides. You know how fucking fucked up people are on the head?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I was a teenager back then, but I hate school kids. I fucking hate them. I'm sorry, but I fucking hate them. One day I'm sitting on the double seat on the bus, facing the driver on the left side, right? And I'm sitting towards the window. No, bullshit. I'm sitting on the edge, and some vieja comes and she wants to sit down. Fine, but I let her sit down. The bus gets dumb fucking packed. She goes to get off at one stop. I get up to let her out, and 2 fucking kids come and take my fucking seat. You know how fucking tight I was? And I wasn't even near my stop. I was fucking tight. This is why I was a teenager in school, and I fucking hate school kids. I can't stand them. I cannot be. That's why I got a car, because I cannot take the bus or train again.
I mean, I love how this is like naturally going this direction, but everyone knows this. The fucking dancing people, I don't miss those motherfuckers at all.
I haven't seen them in a while.
I don't miss those motherfuckers at all. You know what I'm saying? Because
everybody is entertainment.
Especially the dudes that come in with no fucking shirts on, bro.
Yeah.
And they like fucking doing the skinny man shit where they look like they walking on the pole and shit. And you're like, how? First off, yeah, I understand physics and blah, blah, blah. But why? First off, you're sweaty as shit. You understand? Especially if you're on a train that doesn't fucking work. They want to show time on a fucking hot train. You understand? And the people that always sell like the fruit snacks and all that.
Candies and shit.
Have you ever bought? Have you ever like been like?
I had to be really hungry.
Never.
So I've never actually like purchased anything off of anyone. Maybe like 1 or 2 times I've given to like a panhandler, like, oh, you know, change or whatever. But yeah, the train for me, that's just a dub. Like, obviously, if you gotta work, it makes it a little bit more accessible, blah blah blah. But I hate it. Remember this other time I was coming home with a noodle. You guys, which I seen him in, he was our first guest in the last season.
No nation.
We was coming home together, and this guy comes up to us, and he's like, oh, you know, here's money. He's like, oh, can I have some money? Yeah, and I'm like, you know, just keep going, just keep going. I don't know, something happened, he gets upset, and he ends up between both of the carts on the D train. Now the D train is not one of the ones that you can open the door on, right? But somehow he gets in there. Our last stop for me is Fordham, and his last stop is 183rd. And he was coming with me because we was going to visit my mom. And in between 183rd and Fordham, we was stuck there for maybe like 12 fucking minutes because his asshole decided to fucking break the door somehow, get in between the cars. And you know they don't move the train.
They don't.
They don't fucking move it. So we had to wait 12 fucking minutes. And then it's just like, oh my God, oh my. And it gets to that point where you just want to just start just duffing people. You understand? Somebody looks at you and you're like, no, fuck you, being. You understand? So, the train for me, the.
You speak about, you said bums, or not bums, precisely, but people who ask for money. I don't want to come off to seem like an asshole or like a bad person. I'm really not a bad person. Like, if you need something and I have it, I'll give it to you. Fine. But there's like, you don't know everybody's situation. You don't know who's telling the truth. You don't know who's lying.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna give you 2 examples why, right? One day I was Taco Bell drive-thru, and I went to go get some Taco Bell. Like, I usually don't carry cash, so everything is card. So one day this kid comes up and he asks me like if I can help him out, give him $1 or 2 so he can eat. And I'm like, I don't got a buy, I'm sorry. But then he walks away, and then I'm looking at him. You know, I usually judge them by how they look. Like, if you're a bum and you're on the street, I'm sorry to call them bums, but if you're homeless and you live on the street, there is no way that your socks should be wider than mine.
What if he just
I'm sorry. And then on top of that, my boy had a pair of Yeezys.
Oh, nah, that's wild.
I don't fucking like Yeezys as it is. But to spend, you know how much those motherfuckers run through? I'm pretty sure he didn't get a retail price either. But he had a pair of brand new, and they weren't real because I examined them. So they're real fucking Yeezys. And you asking me for $1 to a Taco Bell drive-thru? No. Next thing, there's this homeless guy, 2 twins. They're twins, homeless guy, upstate. They take one side of the street at a time, right? So I guess they fucking coexisting and working together and shit. So my aunt stops at one of them to give them change. She goes, listen, this place is hiring. Why don't you go there? And then this place, you know, they're accepting people who are homeless. That way you can live. And then you can get a job and they're paying this and that and whatever. If you need a recommendation, I'll give you one. Basically set him up for a fucking job. You know what the nerve he had? You know what he said? Nah, that's okay. I get paid more standing here asking for change. Get the fuck out of here. Bro, this is, and again, I don't want to seem like a bad person. This is why I don't give nobody change on the street, train, bus, nothing. You don't know their situation, they could be lying. Bro, you know how there was a statistic a couple years ago where if you're homeless and you're asking for change, if you average a quarter let's say, a quarter every 5 seconds, do you know you could make $1 million in a year?
Would. I've seen those people that they get the money and like those videos of the people that fucking like they change their clothes, they walk to their car, change their clothes, and they like fucking rich.
Yeah.
That's just wild.
That'd be like a side job.
That's like what was that movie? Damn, with the Wayne brothers. Don't Be a Menace.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He was
yeah.
asking for change. Then he got up. He took off the clothes. He had a suit on, and then he put the dirty clothes in his Mercedes Benz, and then drove off. I was like, yo, that shit is real. And I can't, man.
I mean, it's New York.
You ain't getting me no more,
bro. That's why they sell candy. They dance. Soon they're gonna start coming into the trains. Alright, I'm gonna show y'all how to build a PC. This is the fucking hard drive. This is the motherfucking.
And then you get those people that be in the train stops where you gotta walk to different trains, like in 42nd. Then they play actual instruments like guitars, drum, and you got the motherfucker banging on fucking buckets making money.
Nah, I like the ones that actually like they sing or they actually.
No, but the nigga got the 5 gallon of paint upside down, nigga just. I'm sorry, you make your money the way you can, but I don't trust nobody no more. I can't.
Think about it, their money's not taxed or anything. They don't get.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
So there goes that.
That's why you don't know my situation, and I'm sorry, I can't give you what I'm striving to make on my own.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. And, for starters, it's like there are the people that hustle, because I'm not, like you said, in some cases, we don't know, well, we're never going to know exactly unless the person tells us, and they're being truthful, why they're homeless.
Yes, they're being truthful.
Why they're homeless. Now, I've seen, like, local homeless people, understand? Like, I hate to say this, but you like Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood homeless guy, that collect, like, cans and stuff, you understand? Okay. And they do that.
But you see, they collect cans and bottles instead of asking for the money.
Mm-hmm. They working for that
because one thing, exactly, because for what? Excuse me.
And that should actually, do they take money out?
It's a real fucking job.
Because I'm pretty sure if you put in the bottles, they're gonna take a percentage.
So they don't. No,
they get a receipt and then
the receipt.
Then they charge you.
But they don't charge you for doing that. Like they give
they give you the full amount.
They give you the full amount.
Cause I know I used to work check casher for like the coins. You put the coins in the machine. They take 11%, the check cash.
Oh no, for
all those machines, they do take 11%.
Yeah, that shit robbed me before.
Yeah, bro. Because that you fucking.
I'm not gonna hold you. I had
a whole bodega. My brother used to go to the bodega. My fault.
No, go ahead.
My brother, he lives in Michigan now, Steven. He used to go to the bodega. Yo, y'all need give it to them and you take the money. But they don't charge us. They give them the exact shit.
But it's true,
and they
because
do change.
I did the same thing, but I fucked up, and because I went to a check casher place. I had maybe like, beginning of the year, me and my wife and the kids, we always teach them to save money in coins or whatever. So once it gets full, that December, typically, if we on top of it, we will go to the check cashing place or whatever. And I'm lying. We went to pick up the little baggies, little brown shit. Excuse me.
The little wraps.
Basically. And we put them all in. I get to the place and I'm like, okay, I got the money. Can I get the transfer? Because I was ready on route. I could have just went to the bank easily, but I stopped at the check cashing place. And the fucking bitch looks at me and she's like, yeah, we don't take it like that. No. You can pour it down that machine.
They don't take it like that.
So I'm like, the fuck? It's money.
Hold up.
Yes.
Now that I'm thinking about it, 11 fucking %,
bro. And
for my own money?
They don't take it like that because supposedly they say, oh, what if you have put something else instead of the
nigga, they break it on your own.
Literally,
that's what they told me when I used to work there. So.
But that's fucked up.
The bank, you can do that too. You can change it.
The bank, as long as you got the change, right? They give you the full dollar amount.
And they take the rolls.
They take the rolls. Full dollar amount. Because so
Oh, so they don't give. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have 100, like.
Yeah, so like if you got 7 of whatever in coins, right, and they're all wrapped up, that's the only way they'll take unless they're wrapped up. They'll give you the dollar amount of that. So this is one thing. The reason why I know this because before we started hanging out, prior to me, meeting up with you guys, there was 2 things I used to do with these coins. On game nights with my friends, or competitions, what we would do is we would get like $10. Everyone had to show up with $10 in quarters, right? And let's say we're playing, for example, Smash Brothers. I put up 25 cents. You have to put in that value, so it'll be your 25 cents. And then it'll be double or nothing, so it'll be like my 50 cents, your 50 cents. You understand? Or if I put 75 cents for that fight, you gotta match that cent value. So that's why I know about the coins. The other reason why I know about the coins, when we used to have family game nights in my mom's house, this was like, again, right before like COVID type shit, we would play like card games, and it would be the same thing, or bingo. That's how we would play. Bingo,
play bingo like that.
Bingo, you would put your money value in the sand, and then that's what you would win afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I know about all these fucking coin things, you understand? But I'm sorry about what I'm gonna say, but you was an asshole back then, and you actually did that to people. You understand? I know it was your job, but you could have been like, yo. But anyways, that's neither nor here nor there. Yeah, of course. That's neither here nor there.
If it was one of y'all, I would have just been like, give it. If I know the person, I would have been like, just give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
But usually the assholes, so I'd be like, you see that machine right there? Yeah.
No,
but half the time it's not working. I'd be like,
no, you bring up another good point, and I'm sorry we digress, because one thing I don't like, that fucking customer shit, that the customer's always right, bullshit. When you work retail, when you work restaurants, whatever it is.
The Bronzoo tells you otherwise. The Bronzoo, I'm sorry, fuck y'all niggas as well. But one thing they teach you is like, the customer is not always right.
No, but this is the thing though. All right,
it's the only good thing I learned from them.
This is one thing. I'm saying this. Why I'm saying this? For starters, there's a way to talk to people, right? And then there's a way when you know you're right.
Mm-hmm.
If, for example, I come to you and your whatever it is wrong, I expect that I'm getting what I'm paying for, right? But if I'm telling you, hey, sir, I don't have it, we don't have it, whatever, what you want me to do? Fucking go down to the Congos, pick out the fucking furniture wood, make the fucking thing come back for you 8 days later? No, this is not that I work in the furniture place, I'm just giving an example. I remember when I was working downtown, this was back with Nudie, and I was behind at the register, and this guy, I'm telling him, sir, $2.75, right? And he's looking up at the price, and he's like, oh my God, that can't be right. Da-da-da, was here like 2 weeks ago. Da-da-da, it was $2.45. I'm like, okay, sir, $2.75, do the math. It's only 30 cents more, right? You're not paying for that much. You're still paying for the quality. You understand? When everything goes up, we gotta go up. You understand? And that's just the nature of the beast. Oh no, but that was 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, sir, I'm gonna tell you again. I'll let you know. I haven't thought about it. I'm like, I'll let you slide for the 30 fucking cents to do that much, And he's like, but it's the principle. You don't change your custom, da-da-da. I'm like, okay, fine. We're not gonna fucking change it. Just go. Bro, he ends up leaving, coming back the next day to bitch about the same shit, the 30 cents. And then I'm like, this customer rate is bullshit. Because again, if you approach me in a way like, all right, last week I was here 2 weeks ago, and it was $2.45. I wasn't here past 2 weeks. Can I get the price from last week, and going forward, I'll pay the fucking the value. Okay, cool.
Nah, yeah, take it. They let it rock, yeah.
But you want to be a fucking asshole about it? Come on, Bob. 2020 has shown me one thing, and I'm glad that I don't do it anymore. And I'm not, shaming anyone who does it, like works retail, works, those type of jobs. Karens, are a real fucking thing. They're a real fucking thing. And it sucks because they always want to say that they're fucking right, when clearly you know, like you can look them dead in the fucking eye and they're like, and you're just there like, no, it's not gonna happen. Just go. Just make my life easier. Don't aggravate me. Don't leave up here upset because nobody wins then. And then it is what it is. But you touched on some good points. And it's crazy how we're going down this rabbit hole. Talk about one thing and then we end up somewhere else. So
yeah, I got another good one.
We raw and uncut. That's all I'm saying.
I had another good one. As a guy, we all three guys, we're all pretty close. Saying I love you to your friends, is it socially accepted?
for me, yeah. But I understand the stigmatism behind that, and I'm actually glad you brought that up. So, my best friend, I've always told him I love you. You understand? You guys, again, were open arms. You never felt me unwanted. That I've never felt unwanted or unwelcomed by y'all. You understand? And again, I love the fact that y'all willing to cut ass on me or joke on me. You understand? And if you could dish it and take it when I dish it and back and forth, I think for me, that's a sort of love. So when I don't see y'all, I'm not gonna say like, oh, be careful, I love you, or whatever, I love you, bro. You understand? I can understand the stigmatism behind that because some people say it or they hear you say it amongst other people and they be like, hey, yo, what the fuck, da da da. I don't care. You understand? I was on the train, again, another story, with Nudie, who was coming downtown, who was coming home. And people don't know, obviously, how would you know that's your brother, whatever. Every time we got off the train, yo, I love you. You understand? I love you, man. And then people would literally give you that fucking stare, like, what the fuck is going on here? The stigmatism behind it is that men are not supposed to be like, oh, I love you type of shit. Exactly. You understand? So, from where I stand, fuck that. No homo, all homo, whatever you want to, call it. Again, that's not to say that we're bashing by any means anyone who's gay, you understand, or anything, because I'm siding with the fact that I think it should be socially acceptable.
I agree.
You understand? My best friend, like I said, every time I leave him, yo, I love you. I'll text him, good night, I love you. You understand? It's just because that's a, how you say, like, a cariño you have towards them. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a full-blown relationship. So that's where I stand on
You're
that.
not saying I'm in love with you.
Yeah, which is different.
Much different.
Which is what Brokeback Mountain is kind of different.
But yeah, all our friends, like, the people we know, most of the people that probably watch this, softball guys, hero clicks guys, whatever, they know, like, we'd be like, yo, I see you, love you, bro, whatever. Mm-hmm. Or you don't even have to say it. You just know, like, because you always with each other and stuff, like, it's the, like, how can I say, like you said, like, maybe in a public, like, a lot of people, maybe, but I'm feeling more now than before, it's getting more socially accepted, because before you would probably hear those AYOs or whatever and stuff, but now it's like, who cares, like, you give your boy a nice hug if you haven't seen him in a while.
Sorry about that cut, ladies and gentlemen, but we're back. So as you were saying, Chris?
But I'm saying, yeah, like, more now than before, it's more socially acceptable. Like, back then, maybe, like, when we were in high school, if somebody heard me say it to him, they'd be like, hey, yo, whatever. Because that, and because we were younger, people are kind of dumb when they're young. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, like now, like, I don't see you guys for 2 weeks. I'm going to give you a hug. Fuck that shit. I don't care. Like, it's not just going to be a little pound or whatever. When you see your brothers, you give them a kiss on the cheek. Like, when I don't see my family, I give them a kiss on the cheek too. Like,
I mean, it's all based on people who need to think outside the box, right? I mean, if you have love for somebody, you have to express that love, because I feel like if you don't express that love, then the relationship isn't as strong as it could be.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Like, I'm gonna be very frank with you. I was one of those people be like, hey yo, or like, and then that shit. Like, I thought about it one day. And I'm like, it makes sense. Like, now is it where I see my pops, I see my brothers, I give them a pound, a hug, and I kiss them on the cheek. Like, that's the way I roll. Like all my bros, all the dudes that I'm close with. Like if I feel like the strong love, I'm gonna tell you, yo, I love you, and it's not that like my wife, like I love you to my wife and I love you to Chris or you. It's not. It's way different.
Absolutely.
You know, I have love for y'all and I want y'all to always be well, and you know I'll look out for y'all. I'll take a bullet for y'all.
Absolutely.
And it's not the same as where if I go to my wife and say I love you, and this and that. It's more romantic and intense, and you know what I'm saying. It's
and
like,
then this was my point before the cut was it be those people with the AOs, and I hate to say it, that you know that have these insecurities, that if their homie dies in the funeral, then they want to be like, yo, I love him.
I wish I would have said something.
Yeah, I wish I would. And then you kind of regret things like that. You understand? And you sit there and you're like, but this entire time, the stigmatism that you allowed for. I'm 32 years old, right? As you guys can see from the previous episode, I cut my hair off, and it just. One thing I sat there and I was right before I did it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna look fucking weird. You understand? But I wanna start over. I wanna reset. You understand? And if I sit back and I go, man, my fucking hair is what something. I mean, granted, for some people it kind of make or break you. You understand? In my case, I didn't give a fuck. You understand? Let the shit go. I had to just let it just be gone. And that being said, my point is the stigmatism behind certain things doesn't allow you to be yourself.
Yeah.
You understand? And I'm not talking about, you know, other things. I'm saying like just for you to be comfortable in your own skin. You understand? So when I chopped my hair off, it was like, fuck it, I'm going all balls deep. At 32 years old, I can't think about what everybody else thinks about me. You understand? I'm in a point in my life where every decision that I make has to be that much more important than the last one and more meaningful. You understand? Especially that me and my wife are looking for houses to move into. You understand? None of those people that said, oh man, you look like a fucking whatever the fuck. You understand?
Not helping you at all.
Exactly.
So who cares?
So the stigmatism behind certain things, and I'm tying this back to the I love you shit, just let it go. You understand? I think it is what it is, just let it go.
And you never know what obviously sometimes you do know because you talk a lot, but like, for example, maybe one of your homies doesn't talk that much. You never know how much that shit, bro, I miss you, I love you. You don't know how much that shit could change their day and shit, you know?
You guys know from even previous podcasts that I've always read on Reddit. And I remember this guy said that one of his friends reached out to him, and that day, the guy said he was going to commit suicide. And if it wasn't because that friend told him, I love you, he probably would not have been writing that post. Because that one gesture, and those fucking 3 simple words. Granted, I love you does mean a lot of shit for certain people and can mean different things.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But it saved his fucking life. That little thing. So for me, socially acceptable at this current thing should be like just make it like not even mandatory, just let it go. It's 2020 in the sand. All the shit that's been going on this past fucking year, let the fucking thing go. So
honestly, you don't know when it's gonna end. Shit can happen tomorrow, and then you live with regret for the rest of your life.
Absolutely, 100%. So you guys is good?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in to the Fair Shake Podcast. You can subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram and Facebook, like, comment on those. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Podbean.
And if you guys don't know, I actually submitted us to the Amazon podcast. So if you guys don't have access to those things and have Amazon podcasts, we're on there as well.
There's like no excuse.
Yeah. Watch us, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your moms, tell your grandmothers, Tell everybody about us. This is a podcast that needs to be listened to. Reach out. And again, Fair Shake Podcast is signing off.
It's the Fair Shake Podcast. Sucker.